What's going on, N enthusiasts? Welcome back to the channel. Well, it was a good run. It was a good run. I had over 3 years of nothing more than just a couple rock chips in the front bumper. But boy, oh boy, did I mess it up. Actually, it's not that bad. So I did clip the front of my car. You can see the damage there on right over here on the edge of my garage, just turning in a little too fast, not paying full attention to what I was doing. Every time I do it, I think someday I'm going to come too close to that and regret it, and it just happened to be this past week that I did that. So it sucks because I'm a perfectionist and I hate to see my car like this. But anyway, we're gonna try to fix this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bumper off and kind of assess, what parts I'm gonna need to replace, what parts, maybe I might have a shop just, repair and paint. So let me turn this around actually and just kind of give you a walk around of what the damage is right now. All right, guys, got the camera turned around. Let me show you the damage I did here. So the obvious thing here is where I actually made contact with the door, which would have started here. Well, actually not the door, the side of the garage. Made contact here and then kind of just pushed this whole thing in. It's scraped, and I believe probably actually scraped all the way through on the bottom here. Can't really tell yet, but you can also see here it kind of squished in this part, which also in turn kind of pulled this part out. And this part actually of the bumper or front fascia was pulled out as well. I'll show you that in a picture on the screen here so you can see what it looked like. Now I pushed it back in. I know there's clips in here that very often break on people, so I'll have to assess if those are broken or not, because I know there's a bolt up here that you need to take off to get this to come off. So if this was pulled off and the bolt was still in there, that tells me I might have broken something in there. But I did push it back in and it hasn't popped out since. You can see there's a little bit of scratch there, but really that could easily be touched up. But I'm gonna assess that, like I said, see if I did break any of those clips. You can see here, obviously this part has popped out. So I need to assess this part, which actually is separate from the bumper fascia. So I can order this part. It does need to be painted though, although it looks like this is flat black or a satin black. There's a specific color, I guess, that this is painted. So if I do replace this, I'm definitely gonna have to at least get this painted. But this is pretty rough here, so I don't even know if that could be repaired anyways. You can see I caught my light here, and holy cow, I mean, really got lucky that I didn't break this or, put a deep scratch in there. Really, this just feels like paint, surface paint. You can see there where I scraped it off with my thumbnail. So thankfully, because these, I'm sure, are expensive. So I don't have to replace my light. I think I'll be able to get that off. I'm gonna have to definitely replace this black part here. And then on the very bottom, you can see I caught the bottom skirt here. I caught a little bit of this black trim and then the red trim. So, depending on how bad that is, I don't know if I'm gonna try at first to kind of buff it out and see what it looks like. But again, I didn't catch any of the cyber gray, so I got really lucky. I'd rather have to repaint these things than the cyber gray. So, it could have been a lot worse. I got really lucky, like I said. But I want to get this bumper off, the whole front fascia, because this part here, I'm going to have to replace anyways, and it's like, it looks terrible right now, the way that it's kind of bowing out like that. So at least in the meantime of getting this fixed, I want to at least get that pushed back in and get this looking right. But I do want to take this off and just see how hard it's going to be to get those pieces off, to get them painted. Like I said, probably a new part, but I do want to get a closer look and just get a better angle on, kind of trying to buff these things out. So let me strap the GoPro on and we'll take the bumper off. All right, guys, so first step, pop the hood. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 push pins that we need to take out. I bought this kit on, I think I got it on Amazon for like, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks at the most. But it's well worth it. And it comes with this sweet little tool. Actually, For these though, I think I use a screwdriver, so I won't need to use that. But anyways, for these kind of push pins that you lose, or ones that are on the bottom, when I lost that splash tray on the bottom and I had to repair that, these things are awesome. I mean, there's pretty much something that will work. It might not be an exact match, but it will work to get you back to where you need to be if you lose one of these push pins. But these are definitely just pop them out with a screwdriver. So we're gonna start here. Let's see, look for the little indentation, just go underneath it, and just simple. I'm gonna get a container to put these in so I don't lose it. So I just gotta figure out where I have a container. Oh, here we go. I'll use one of these. So this will be our tray for all of our push pins, so we can kind of keep everything together and, you know, not worry about losing those little guys. So just take out these, very easy. Don't go crazy on these. They come out real easy. Just look for the little indentation, pop them. One, two, three, four push pins, and then there's an 8mm bolt right up here. Hopefully you can see that. If not, it's right up here on the corner. So we're gonna get those pulled out. Again, very easy. Let's take out. Of course, you're gonna drop one somewhere. Okay, now I'm gonna get my 8mm. We're gonna set these. I'm pretty sure these are all the same, but let me just take a look before yeah, they're the same. All right, so I've got this pivoting head ratchet. I think that's what it's called, and I got a little bit of a wobble. This bolt is gonna be a little bit difficult. Let's see. Okay, that was easy to reach. All right. All right. Almost there. There we go. Okay, so we got that out. Throw that in there, make sure we don't lose it. Now I'm just gonna kind of test this and pull this out. Okay, so it looks like, oh yeah, I did break. I broke that one right there. That, yeah, there we go. That's where that screw goes in. But that's the only clip I broke. The rest look intact, so that's really good news. This one, I'm gonna see if maybe I can somehow bond something here, but you know, I think just the tension of the screw, even though this is broken on the outside, might be enough to hold that in. So that's really good news. So now just go to the other side and do the same thing. Take those 4 push pins out and the bolt. Oh my goodness, things are just dropping everywhere. There we go. Finally got it out. All right, so this should just pull out hopefully pretty easily. Yep, there we go. Just take your time. You don't want to scratch anything. There we go, it's completely separated from it now. So now we're gonna go underneath the car. Might have to get the car up in the air because I did actually, this splash shield is the one that came down on me on the highway. And I think I had to kind of tape over where it holds on to this front fascia on the bottom. So I might have to take that off and retape it after, and I might just end up ordering a new splash guard to replace this one that broke anyway. So I'm gonna have to jack the car up, not a big deal. We'll get it up in the air, and then I'll show you how to get the bottom ones off, and then this whole thing should pop off. All right, let's get under there and take a look at what we got. Yikes. So we've got we're missing the ones from over there. Looks like 2 of them popped out. I think that's just pushed on this and popped those push pins out. So I've got 1, and then these 2 are ones that I had to tape over because when my splash guard let go and started hitting on the road when I was driving. Actually, what I'm going to do is just I'm just going to order a new splash guard, since I'm going to be ordering these other bumper parts too, most likely. So, okay, so we're going to start with this corner one here, since I can get to it easily. Let's pop this out. Feels like this one has a little more tension than. Get a better look on it. It's probably just a bunch of dirt in there. Here we go. Okay, let's get the center one here popped off. That went flying. There we go. It's the same. And then we're gonna get this back corner one. All right, throw that in the tray. So these last 2, I'm gonna see if I can peel the tape off and get them off. I didn't want to have to take all the tape off because it's actually worked really well, and I don't have any more of this tape left. But I'm just gonna have to buy some, I guess. All right, so this is you can tell this is one of the replacement ones I used because it's bigger, and so I'll just remember that this goes where the tape is. And then we just have to take that one last one out, kind of a pain in the butt. You won't have to do this on yours because you didn't have to tape up your splash shield like I did. All right, it's the last one. Let's get this thing popped. Of course, this one's gonna be difficult. So this one feels like it's gonna break, so I'm going to use the tool that came with this kit. See if I can pry it out that way. Let's see. There's always one, I swear. Alright, well, we just had to break it out, unfortunately. Regardless, we'd have to replace it anyways. Okay, this is pulled out. This is pulled out. So I believe now we just start pulling from the top on this and kind of wiggling it loose to see if we can start pulling this fascia off. Oh, we gotta kind of pop it off the top there. All right, a little bit of something popped off over there. I'm guessing it was just. All right, just gave it a little bit of a tug. Just take your time. Just popping out of the places that hold it in. There we go. I feel it coming off now. All right. We'll try to be nice and easy with it. We're just going to set it to the side until we figure out its final resting place where I can get a really good look at it. But pretty easy, guys, not a big deal. And actually, while I'm in here, ooh, look at that rock. There's a rock in my intercooler. There's a piece of foam. Okay, so this will be good. You can also clean out your intercooler while you take the bumper off. But that was really easy. That was probably the easiest bumper I've ever had to take off. Like I said, my issue. Oh, look at that. There's a screw from something. So we'll have to put this. We'll hold on to that too. Now I thought I heard something kind of fall in there when I pushed that bumper corner back on there. So that's probably it, and I just need to figure out where that screw goes or where it came from to replace it or fix it. But so like I said, I'm going to figure out where to put this to get a better look at it, I'll probably bring it, maybe I'll put it outside on the grass. All right guys, got the bumper in the grass so I could get a better look at what's going on here, and I've already figured out what's going on with this part here. So you can see right here in the corner, there's no screw there, and in this corner where the other side where it's fine, there is a screw. So that is the screw that we found when we took this fascia off. So I'm glad I kept that. You can see here, here's where I cracked. Well, actually it looks like it is cracked, but I just have to figure out what this looks like on the other side. Okay, so I mean, it looks like I should be able to kind of just force this back in. But I'm curious to see. Oh yeah, so this whole, these can all come out. It looks like there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Let's see, that's 5. That would have to come out. And then, wow, all the way on the bottom here. So there's a bunch of screws, but it's not, you know, nothing crazy. So you can see these are the curtains that channel the air through the bumper. So it's kind of cool to get a look at the inside of this. But this is all connected. Okay, like this part broke. Well, let's see. Is that supposed to just be hanging? No, okay. So there's a problem right there. This part of the fender, which is attached right here, you can see it broke off from here. Maybe there's a way that I can bond this, or you know, a body shop might be able to. They probably will be able to bond that, I'm guessing, but I don't know for sure. So that's definitely a problem as well. So all right guys, so I've come up with a plan. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this side curtain off, because once I get this off, I'll be able to see the back of this piece a little bit more, and where I'm actually going to have to, you know, what else I'll have to take off. So there's just 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. This is supposed to be coming off too, but since it's already like that, I'm just going to leave it on there. So let me get a screwdriver. All right, I'm moving this thing inside. It's too hot out here. Do a separate container for this one. Alright, so that was easy to get off. Yeah, you know, I'm thinking some JB Weld plastic might be able to hold that, but I feel like it needs to be reinforced on the back too. I mean, what a weird design. I don't know, it just seems very odd that this is so thin where it attaches to the fender there, but, you know, who knows, who knows. But, alright, anyways, we got that off. So this is our part that we're still trying to figure out how to get off. So it looks like I'm gonna have to take off that one there. Does this just pull off? Let's see. I don't want to break it. Oh yeah, you just kind of slip it. It kind of just slips past it. Okay, so I can see all the other bolt, or all the other screws now. I think I'm just gonna pop this whole thing off. So it's pretty flexible, just take your time, you don't want to scratch it up, but you can see how it goes in there. Just make sure we can locate it in the same exact spot. So we'll leave it in the same direction it came out. Okay, so now that I got that off, I can see This black piece really goes, I mean, it is a main part of the structure of the bumper. So there is quite a lot I have to take off here, it looks like. I'm trying to figure out how this, so that's attached. This is a little confusing, trying to figure out exactly what's attached to what, you know? Let's see. Well, before I get too far into this, because I am going to have to put my bumper back on, I'm not prepared to actually get it fixed and replaced yet, because I still need to get the parts, and then I need to get them painted if I have to. I want to take a look at the bottom here. Let's see if I can just tilt this like this for a second. It's scraped up pretty good. No, I can't imagine this. I saw someone say that this paint is really hard to match to the, you know, because I'd have to get this painted and replaced. These could probably just be sanded down and painted to match. That's not a big deal, I don't think. Lots to think about. Okay, well, I thought I'd come to a final conclusion with this, but I need to price the parts first, and then I need to just look at this and think, is this something I want to tackle, getting all these parts off, or let a shop that does this kind of stuff all the time kind of deal with it. All right, guys, while I'm deciding about the bumper, I'm cleaning up the paint off of the headlight, so I just kind of saturated it with some Goo Gone, and I'm just taking my thumb and scraping it, and it's actually coming off pretty nicely. Oops, sorry I didn't get that very good on camera, but I think this is going to clean up really good, and that's awesome because I don't want to have to buy a new headlight. So I'm going to continue on this, and I'll show you the final results. All right, very pleased with the way that came out. It's perfect now, like nothing ever happened. The Goo Gone, using my thumbnail, and then just washing it really good with some glass cleaner, and it looks as good as new. So this is huge. This not needing to be replaced is huge for me. So I think I've decided what I'm gonna do here. So I'm definitely gonna order the main black part here. And then I think that these other parts, they're not bad enough to have to replace the whole part. This one is, because it got that, like I said, they got scrunched up there, and it has that big thing there. So I'm definitely going to order the black part, and at the very least have that painted. For this, unfortunately, this cyber gray part is part of the whole front bumper cover. So this doesn't separate. It almost looks like this would be a separate piece here, but it's not. It actually connects over here, which is a little broken. So, and then also, you also have this part here that I was showing you is supposed to be attached and broken off. Here we go, like this. So you can see that's supposed to be attached. Like on the other side here, this is actually attached. I can feel it bonded back here. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to bond that, I think with some like JB weld, plastic weld. I might be able to get a good enough bond on this. You know, it's not doing a whole lot of holding, I think. But I might also, the shop that I bring to get this black part painted and the rest of the stuff painted, I might have to just ask them what they think about that, if I can actually bond it myself, or maybe it's something that they need to do. So I've assessed I definitely need to order at least one part. That's that black plastic part in the front. And then the rest of the stuff's just gonna have to be painted. But overall, really, I mean, as long as I can save these parts, bond them together on the bumper cover, then I'll be able to not have to replace this entire cover, because of course that's the most expensive part, is this entire structure and frame. So that won't be too bad. So now that I have a plan, I'm going to start looking up parts and prices, get that part, and then work with my local shop to get an estimate on how much everything would cost. I did want to show you guys before I get back on, I was actually able to push this black piece back in to the into the brackets here, and then get the screw that I found on the bottom when I took this off back in there, and it's holding in perfectly good now. So that's good. It should look a lot better, especially with the headlight being cleaned off now too. So just wanted to show you that before I get it back on the car. One more tip when you're putting the bumper back on, or the front fascia, I'll just run some tape along here so that you're not taking a chance of scraping this paint when you're trying to get the bumper lined up, because this is the only cyber gray it's going to come in contact with. So just a little precaution to make sure that this goes on nice and easy. All right guys, so got the bumper back on. You can see there that black part is pushed back in, which looks much better now. The light is cleaned off, so there's no white scrapes on it. That's great. This part is held on really great, so really the only thing here is just this little bit that I'm gonna have to touch up, but that's no big deal. And there is that piece that's underneath here that's broken that I'll have to address as far as bonding it goes, but you obviously can't see anything from the outside. All this looks the same, obviously. So next step is I'm gonna order this black part here, and then I'm going to find a shop and I'm gonna have them paint that, and then whether it's buffing or painting this area here too. But all in all, not too bad. It's going to be okay, and shouldn't be too expensive, hopefully. I'll keep you guys posted on the next steps. Till the next video, peace out.